Hey everybody, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Brian.
And today we are talking a little bit more about actually the value in documentation or documenting your results after you do any inspection and certification. And we've touched on this a little bit in some previous episodes, but wanted to pick on you a little bit, Brian. I know that you spent some time in your career for a while working for a cable systems manufacturer. Tell us a little bit about the value that you guys placed on documentation there.
Yeah, one of the things when I worked for this big cable system maker was we would periodically get phone calls where, hey, you've got a bad bunch of jumper assemblies or some preloaded panels that are in the field. And the first reaction a lot of times with the sales guys, Tyler, was to automatically blame the factory, right?
Oh no, what did we do wrong?
Yeah. Or what's wrong with you guys at the factory? And what saved us a lot of times is because we would have in our quality inspection process to actually go through and save some of the results. So where the value of actually documenting your work from an equipment maker or cable system maker perspective is what you're doing is you're not only going through ensuring that the quality of the product as it goes out, but you're also kind of giving yourself a little bit of protection, right? So that way, if somebody takes that dirty LC and they plug it into that transceiver or into that panel,
it was the manufacturer's fault. They shipped us bad stuff, right?
Right. But it's also a great way to use that documentation to also help train people so they can understand best practices and better ways so that they can prevent doing that kind of damage.
Yeah. So, we tie this back to the IEC 61300 standard. This is the reason why it was originally established, going back to new equipment manufacturers and giving them a stamp that they can say that they meet, and then that's something that the customers can receive and check according to as well. It levels the playing field. But, even though that was established for those equipment manufacturers, in recent years, I look at what TIA has done of adopting that IEC standard. This is making its way out into the field right now in the enterprise, in service providers. We see a lot of the service providers who are calling out that requirement now for their contractors that they hire to do this kind of stuff as well. And then, this goes back to, it gives them a clear benchmark.
Yeah, exactly. And then, if you think about it, so if you're kind of new to the industry, by going through and being able to give your customer a report showing, hey, here's when we tested the connectors, here's what they look like. And so whether it's, and a lot of them will have like a view of like a high magnification, low magnification, it really helps document the quality of the work. So it's a great way, especially if you're kind of new into fiber, to go through and help establish that confidence. And if you're one of the guys that's like a legacy guy that's been doing this, or a large company that's been doing this for a number of years, what I think you're doing is when you hand that documentation over to your customer, what you're doing is basically saying, hey, look, here's the quality of my work. Here's, and essentially that kind of hopefully feeds into the value prop.
Yeah, that's worth something for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And so what you're doing is actually showing your customer the quality of your work. And so if they're trying to decide, hey, do I choose company A or company B? And that company A is going to provide you with a test report, or they're saying, hey, we can provide that test report. And with the software now, a lot of it's pretty automated, isn't it? So it's not a whole lot of extra work for the installer, is it?
Exactly. It's so easy these days. It's a fast and easy way to make sure you're doing it right and to give yourself an upper level of credibility.
Yeah.
So we'd like to hear from you guys, your own examples of how you're using this and how this has benefited you and given you credibility. So send us your information. I'd love to hear some stories from you guys about how documenting your results has been beneficial to your organization. Until next time, I'm Tyler.
And I'm Brian. Thanks for watching.